Hello guys and welcome back. Pete Dahlgren building Mears Models F86 Sabre Jet. What I've got here is a big piece of wet wood. And what I've done here is I do a sheeting process I call water forming. And this is how I do it. And it takes a little bit of time, but I'm going to show you how you check it here. Now, you don't want to sit there and put this on dry because, for number one, you see that bend in there? There's a bend. This airplane is not round. So when you come up there and look, it actually flattens up back here. And that contour follows it all the way down. The frames are accurate and done. If you get a little bit of high spot, that's not a problem. Now what I've done here, guys, is I soaked this in water for about maybe 10 minutes or so, just to get it wet. Now, the main thing that I'm doing here, this is not glued. It won't be glued until this completely dries. Then I'll mark out every single one of these frames. I'm going to show you that here as soon as this dries. And that won't even happen for several hours. That thing is soaked. I mean, really soaked. And you need it to be that way when you do wide sheets like this. And the reason is you want that to be straight. It takes a little bit longer than planking, I think, but really, when that's glued, this is how nice it's going to be. You're going to use a lot of clamps on this, guys. Now, on this particular airplane, the reason that it's done like that is because you can see where it comes back off towards the outlet up back here, back in the empennage. This actually does go straight in, then it goes out, and then right here, as you can see on the frame, it stops there and it straightens out all the way to the nose. Now, I use the water forming because it works for me. If you're not comfortable with this, don't do it. But I'm going to show you the inside and how to look it up. And I'm sure you will agree that climbing around here sucks. But anyway, when you go in there and you look, as you can see, it's perfect. It fits everything right to the T. And that's where it needs to be. Now that is chamfered in there and cut around that. And that's what I use for a seam for gluing on any of these hard cuts. And I'll do it again up there, and when you're done with it, it looks like that. It doesn't matter how you do it, just as long as you got something good to glue the whole thing to. But it's like I said, and when you go and you start looking down the fuselage, you get to see that's straight as a gunshot. Now, that also goes for your sanding and everything, but you want it to look like this when it comes down, and then it curves and it gently goes back in on the other side. And you see it's got a really nice smooth transition. This area up here you're going to want to plank. You can do it in one piece. I prefer anything that's really crazy like that to plank it, but it is. And I did run this out a little bit. That's marked out a little bit. Got a lot of work to do in here yet, guys. But anyway, I left this wild. I talk about leaving things really wide. Now, on the real jet, it's not. There's some crazy looking panels, and I'll show you this. We're going to go over some of the drawings that I'm using here, and probably the next few episodes we're going to go on the computer. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing. So, anyway, we'll see you on the next episode, and we'll see you in the funny papers.